Well, what's up, guys? It's Uneducated Guesses. There's no Taylen today. It's just me, Justin, and
I'm Coty.
yeah, you're my good buddy Coty through friends. But I think we've become pretty good friends as
Yeah.
of lately.
Yeah, I'd say.
I think so. So, Taylen's not here because he came down with the case of the AIDS, and
The sickness.
it's not looking good. And rest in peace, bud. I mean, eventually.
It'd be all right.
So, you wanted to come on. Why don't you tell yourself about? Fuck, I can't talk. Jesus Christ, I'm kind of dumb today. Tell the people about yourself. A little intro on your life.
I'm Coty. Graduated high school in 2015, then went into the military. Served from 2015 to 2020, where I had met Bree, my wife now. That's how me and Justin, we know each other. I was a hospital corpsman, which is a medic with the Marine Corps. And I absolutely loved it up until I got out in 2020, where I'd started, dating Bree for 4 or 5 years now. And that's how I met this guy over here, and Taylen and Sean. I've not met the other guest yet.
Oh, Mike. Yeah, you've met him. We played baseball
Oh,
a
okay.
couple times. It was the one he was pretty good. He was a shorter guy.
Okay.
It was pretty cool though. Yeah, he's been out a few times, but
Very nice.
we told him that he needs to come to one of the parties sometime. We
Yeah.
invited him to the last one, but he wasn't able to make it. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm. But pretty much that's the most important things about my life. Really, I graduated high school, went into the military, and right now with Bree, this guy and
Married.
his girl. Yep, waiting on you guys next.
Yeah, we're coming up. It's gonna be fucking soon. Time is just flying by. It doesn't even make sense.
Mm-hmm. The older you get, the quicker a year is.
Just fucking flies by.
Mm-hmm.
Really does suck.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes. It's kind of nice when the day goes by fast, for work and shit. But
Yeah.
speaking of work, what are you looking to do?
So right now I work with my buddy Bryce. He's trying to upstart a company with like trying to scrap semi trucks
Mm-hmm.
and sell the parts. So I'm helping with him on that. I'm also working at True Green, so running around doing pesticides and stuff like that.
How you liking that?
The days go by quick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Keeps you busy.
Yeah. It's like day one in the shop, I was trying to remove a headlight harness. So it's been quick.
So how long has your buddy been doing this? You just start or?
He's been working with the owner for about 2.5 years now.
Okay.
So a lot of that was, trying to buy the land, the academics of it, and just, trying to get all of the, licenses, the permits. But it's going good. He made $7,000 this month already.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
So
Like for March?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's only been just over a week of March. That's pretty damn good.
yeah. So I'm helping him with the tire side of it, and he's trying to do the mechanical side of it. So
That's good.
yeah.
What else do you like to do? What do you do in your free time?
So I recently got back into shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Just bought a 6-hour M400 tread. After being able to sight it in, put maybe 150 rounds through it. I loved it, and I'm gonna try to go to one of those competitions.
Right.
You were talking about.
Yeah. Yep. Well, as you guys know, Taylen and I, we do a bunch of shooting. We went to a competition yesterday with his dad, Toby. He's been on. We'll talk more about that next week when Toby's on, but that was a good time. It's definitely something you would be really interested in because their goal was for each stage to try and train you for possible real life scenarios.
Okay.
It was a hell of a lot of fun. Like the first stage that we did, we started at a barrel with our rifles out. We had to work our way around the barrel and shoot first target as we see it. And then once we knock out those targets, we run up and we grab the bag that's laying on the ground. It has a radio in it. Take the radio, get behind cover, and then we had to read what was on the paper. We get clearance to shoot the targets that were like 50 yards down. Had to put 7 rounds in each one. That one was fun. That was the most creative stage I've ever done. That was a hell of a lot of fun. And that one, it was pretty much just rifle. Mm-hmm. But if you wanted to, because each stage they make you load up your pistol and everything. So if you wanted to, you have to start with your rifle on the barrel. But as soon as you hear that beep, you could drop your pistol or drop your rifle, pull out the pistol, work yourself around the barrel. That'd be pretty quick. Might be even quicker than just using, like if you have a 16-inch barrel, might be faster than doing that. Knock those out real quick, work away. But they're also very strict on rules. So you really have to mind where your barrel is pointing at all times. Mm-hmm. Like even if you just sling it down, because I've always been, like in videos that I watched, I was always told, throw it to the side, pull your pistol out. But no, they pretty much make you just drop it right down on your nuts, so that way it's pointing straight down to the ground. Then pull out your pistol. Yeah. Because you have to worry about the people behind you. Mm-hmm. But there was a bunch of scenarios like that. They made you get on the ground. We were having to run through the mud and everything. It was a hell of a lot of fun. And I was telling the guys after that, when we went to go get dinner, I was like, dude, Coty would love to fucking do this. Mm-hmm. And I mean it. It's a lot of fun, but you also get timed and everything, so it's a competition, but it's also training.
Okay.
So yeah, whenever you get your pistol, just let me know and we'll go out, because it's every second Saturday of the month. They do it year round.
Okay.
So even when there's snow, they'll do it. This was our first time going, but.
Okay. I'm thinking about getting a 6-hour P360.
P360? Let me look that one up. I can show the people. Actually, I'm going to move this real quick. That's not what I wanted. It's being weird. P360. I actually have not heard of that one.
No?
So I'm seeing a P365.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, sorry. I'm a bit inebriated right now.
Oh, that's fine. Look at this one. It's got a rose engraved in it. Mm-hmm. And then rose gold stuff.
Yeah.
Let me show the people. So do you have any idea which one you want? Or I'll go to the website.
I was thinking about either a full size or the X comp.
Let's see. The Legion.
Such a pretty pistol, though.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. Is that something you could also carry as well?
Yeah.
Even full size?
Yeah. I would prefer to open carry. I would just get my CCW just for riding around in a car. That'd be it.
Yeah, because I actually just got my license.
Okay.
And I got a little extra on me, and I was trying to do like a Penix carry.
So no front.
No front. Not on that pistol because I have the 320X full, so it's a full size pistol, and I got the Romeo 1 Pro, I think it is.
Okay.
And that's a pretty big red dot. Yeah, it doesn't work well with me, not right now. So I'm probably gonna have to do an outside the waistband holster on that. But I think primarily, like you, I'm just gonna take it with me in the car.
Yeah. The only conceal holster that I've really been interested in is the ones that go underneath your armpits.
Oh, okay. Real mafia shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are pretty nice pistols. I like it. I like 6 Hour, so.
Yeah.
And it'll really match for you since you got the SIG M400.
And they're not that expensive either. They're like around the $800 range.
Is that optic? Is that with the optic?
That's a fairly, built pistol.
Yeah. This one's pretty nice.
They have one in rose gold. I was wanting to get for Bree.
Yeah. That's something I want to do too. I want to try and get the girls out shooting. I know Danielle would if Bree went out.
Oh yeah, yeah. If I tell her that there's gonna be zombies, she'll come.
There's gonna be zombies. What do you mean by that?
Like zombie posters.
Oh yeah, that'd be kind of fun. Set them up. Yeah, she'd like that. If you guys don't know, the girls, they used to play a lot of Call of Duty Zombies. So it makes sense. They like their Call of Duty.
I thought I had a problem.
What do you mean?
Dude, I thought I got mad at Call of Duty. Bree is times 100.
Really? Man. I mean, I haven't played with her all that much. Maybe I was the one just being overly mad at everything. So she was calm compared to me. Like I'm pretty competitive. So yeah, it's probably the issue. So what else you like? Oh, you got all your organizing tools last night.
Yeah. My toolbox has just been a mess for 6 months now. Oh, I couldn't find a screwdriver anywhere. It'd be in the house. It wouldn't be in the house. Like, it was an Easter egg hunt.
Isn't it the most annoying thing when the wife decides to put away a tool? She doesn't know where it goes.
Yeah.
So she just puts it where she thinks it might need to go. Which could be nowhere close to where it's supposed to go. No. Which I get it. We're supposed to take care of our tools, but maybe I had it there for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you messaged me last week asking about coming on the podcast. You had something you wanted to talk about. Remember what it was?
I don't.
You don't? Well, neither do I. So you guys are going to have to give me a quick second. It's a little different because we don't have Taylen on, and he is the big talker. He can keep conversations going. That dude knows how to talk. All right, 1 second, guys. So you wanted to talk in-depth, controversial, weird shit. Did you have anything in mind?
Oh, I have so much in mind.
Well, get it started.
All right.
Let's figure this out.
How do you feel about like so much? So much. All right. The wage gap.
Oh, for men and women?
Mm-hmm.
Man, we're about to get canceled, aren't we?
That's what I'm here for.
Like I said in an earlier podcast episode, it's hard to get canceled when you barely started. So let's get it going. I think there's a reason, but I also, like, okay, there's a reason. That's not what I meant to say.
Careful.
I'm not saying it doesn't exist,
Mm-hmm.
but if you think about it, if the wage gap was really a thing, wouldn't all these companies just hire females? Because what's the most expensive thing about running a business? Wages.
The payout, yeah.
Yeah. So what would be the best way to save money if the wage gap is real?
Hire for cheaper.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes me think of like football and stuff with the NFL, where they make you interview a minority or a person of color before you make your final choice. So you give them a chance. So it's like hires are being made that may not even be the best option.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that could be the same way with just regular companies hiring people. Like, oh, we have to hire these Hispanic people, which is nothing wrong with that, but we got to hire these Hispanic people so it helps with taxes and whatnot.
Yeah. I think that, so if you look at the companies that kind of pay out the most, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like the oil field. If you were to do that same job, like that, physically demanding, that is, 99.9% ran by men.
Yeah.
And if she can, do the work, and if she still gets paid that, 77 cents per dollar, that's a problem.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
If they're doing the same, because that 77 cents that's just the national average of all jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yes, there's going to be jobs where the more, I mean, it should be just the more qualified person gets paid the most, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say, I'm trying to think of like a good example, because right now I'm probably sounding like a jackass. No, I get it though, because, like the comment I made a second ago where, just hire the cheapest labor. Well, then all the, the blue collar jobs, the ones that are, typically more demanding, like the rigging and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Are women going to fill those positions,
Mm-hmm.
But I agree though. If the woman is doing the exact same thing that a man is doing, they should be paid the exact same.
Yeah. Because, like, if they're doing the exact same work, the exact same, experience, I feel like that should be the rule book for it. Like, how much experience do you have? Because obviously you don't want to have your older employees be making the same as the new guys.
Yeah, of course.
Coming in.
Yeah, there's nothing more annoying than being with a company for 5 years and then they bring on this person that doesn't know half the shit you do, and they're pretty much getting paid fucking the same amount as you.
Yeah.
God, that's annoying, because it happens at places that I've worked without getting in trouble for saying anything. Yeah, that stuff's annoying, but
Censored.
yeah, pretty much. Beep. Actually, I have that button in here somewhere.
Be prepared to use that thing.
Think so?
Yep. There we go.
Oh God.
Are you
That
trying
is
to
not
stay?
good.
Are you trying to stay family friendly?
I don't think we've ever been family friendly.
Okay.
I swear in every single episode, it doesn't fucking matter. There's always, like the feminists, they always point. Okay, not all feminists are bad.
Okay, so we're
Obviously.
talking about.
I'm talking about the men hating feminists.
The third wave.
Yeah, exactly.
The newest one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That wave, they always like to point toward the WNBA, how they're not paid anywhere close to the NBA, like, top paid from women's to men's.
LeBron compared to
like Sue Bird. I think she's still playing.
mm-hmm.
I always call Bree's mom Sue Bird because it's a Sue that I know. But
I never knew
they
that.
don't get paid shit compared to the NBA players.
Mm-hmm.
But people don't understand why. They just think, oh, these girls need to be paid the exact same amount as these men. But they're not bringing in anywhere close to the same amount of money.
Yeah,
they don't make the sales.
Yeah. A lot of it is, you really can't blame either one for that. That's more of like what people like to watch.
Yeah, exactly.
People like to see a more, upbeat, kind of crazier, stadium. I mean, look at football.
Mm-hmm. People want to see freaks doing freak shit,
Yeah, and that's why like the Harlem Globetrotters were really big. It's because like
they do some crazy dunks and all that.
A bunch of tall guys, entertaining.
Not just tall guys. There's some. They usually have like a really short person on there too. That's just insanely good.
Mm-hmm. But it's what the people want to watch, and their paycheck is highly based on views.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sales, merch, stuff like that. I mean, you can't really blame it on the teams.
Yeah, exactly. The main thing you can blame it on is just advertising. And I think over the last year or two, they've done a pretty good job at kind of pushing the WNBA out.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're really focusing on the girls, which is good. Sometimes it's a little annoying because like look at this awesome dunk that you're watching like live and they don't even show it on ESPN, but then they show this like weak ass layup that a girl does. I'm like, I get it, but
I want to see some backflips.
Yeah. And I know that there's people that, say like, hey, let's lower the rims for the girls, but they don't want to do that, which I understand. It'd be cool to see the girls dunking and stuff. They're slowly getting there. There's some players that can do it, but they don't want to change the rim size from height from what they've been playing on their whole lives. And I get that.
Yeah, because isn't the ball for the girls a little bit smaller?
It is a little bit smaller, but that's just because their hands are naturally smaller too. But I think they play on the same rim height.
Okay. The 12-foot?
Yeah, I believe so. I'll look that up real quick. But I'm pretty sure they play on the same rim height. Oh, both playing a 10-foot tall hoop. I didn't know that. I thought that was a 12-foot.
Okay.
But yeah, I bring that comparison up because that's one I see a lot when it comes to the pay gap. But no, I agree though. Like if you're doing the same thing, you should definitely be paid the same amount. If you're not, definitely go and bring it up with the company. If they don't do anything, then that's when you start suing. You get paid the big bucks.
Oh yeah.
Man. So as the listeners know, we're a bit leaning on the right side on this podcast.
Okay.
Not heavily, I wouldn't say. But what do you think of this Biden guy? Been in office for about 4 years now.
Yep.
Election year coming up. Primaries are going on.
It's not looking good for Biden.
It's not. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not a Trumper or anything like that.
Mm.
Like, he's done some things that kind of pissed me off. I think he was a good president. If you just look at the numbers, ignore all the, kind of stupid shit he does, the tweets and all that.
Yeah.
Ignore that stuff. He did pretty damn good as a president.
Yeah.
It's just people fucking hated the guy.
Yeah, and that's a lot of it was because you would see him, posting on, Facebook, Twitter, a lot of like whack ass shit.
Yeah.
And to me, it's entertaining. Like when I see a lot of people hating on Trump. It's like, but yeah, do you remember that he called someone out on Twitter? Like, what president? Does
Exactly.
that?
Like, you want your president to kind of stand up for you. And that felt like what he was doing. We weren't in any wars.
Yeah.
He was pulling stuff out. Yeah, I know Biden pulled out of Iraq. I want to get your opinion on that, with how that happened. Do you remember that?
Yeah. So that was a couple years after I got out.
Yep.
But I think how I'm all for pulling out of a country.
Of course.
I mean, we have been trying to train Afghan troops for
better
20-something years.
Yeah, I was going to say 2 decades.
I mean, they're just so caught on fear by, like, the Taliban, ISIS, that it's hard to, try to find a group of people that want to stand up without the fear of, like, them and their families.
Yeah, it's got to be something that they want to do.
Yeah. And I think that's a lot of what our problem, was over there is, we were trying to win the minds and the hearts of the people with, like, building schools and infrastructure over there. But it didn't change the fear.
Yeah, because not you guys, but United States wasn't able to really completely eradicate, ISIS and all them.
Yeah, they just kind of broke apart.
Yeah, and it was kind of surprising. I mean, maybe it wasn't surprising, but it was interesting to see how fast they regained control after the U.S. pulled out.
Less than a month.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
but I'm bringing this up because of how, like, all the leftover equipment and stuff was left there, and just pretty much fueled the army over there.
Yeah, I think, the reason why the military, didn't try to take it back over is because it's, cheaper to leave it there.
Right.
Because, I mean, unless you really know how to operate on that equipment, it's going to be hard to, figure it out.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, and especially if they try to blow it up with, thermite. I mean, you can try to scrap it, but the weapons, that's a different story.
Yeah, they're a little easier to handle.
Yeah.
AK-47 is a good platform, but your
yeah.
hands on an M4, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, I mean, they left behind all sorts of shit.
Yeah, helicopters, some kind of jets.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah, it might not be easy to run, but you give a fearless person time to learn how to do it, they're gonna learn how to fucking use it.
Yeah.
And the last thing you want is, I know we're not going back over there or anything. It's not that I know of. But you don't really want to go your weapons against your weapons.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know how to use it better, but shit, still that evens out the odds a little bit more.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what the biggest reason, like, why America has relied on the 5.56 by 45 platform for the M16 and the A4 and the M249 saw.
Probably price.
Yeah, but, like, its best trait is that it bounces around when it hits something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not going to leave a hole in you like a 300 blackout would. It's not going to, go right through you like a slug would for a 12 gauge. I mean, they're trying to. So there's a brand new firearm that the Army is starting to use now. It's like a LR6 or something like that.
I'll look that up.
I'm not sure on the name.
Let's see. New military weapons. Two new rifles. So this looks like a SIG.
Yeah, look at that.
So yeah, this, I'm going to show it to the people. This is the XM5 or XM250.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be replacing the M249. That looks sick. I have seen a video with Grand Thumb on that.
Yeah.
Shooting that. And they had one of the big boys that, usually would carry these.
Mm-hmm.
But your support guy. I don't know what you really call him. I just know Call of Duty terms and stuff like that.
So,
But your support guy with the carrying the ammo and the big ass gun. And he was fucking shooting that full auto and walking forward. And other guys were trying to do that and they couldn't.
yeah.
He had to be like a cornbred or corn-fed Southern boy.
Farm boy.
Farm boy.
Yeah, usually the military likes to play a sick joke and grab the smallest guys for the Marine Corps.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen some of these smallest dudes with the largest weapons for no reason.
So this is the spear.
Okay.
SIG spear. I'm trying to think what round that uses. It doesn't really say. Military purchased 250,000 weapons.
Okay, so that's like a trial period right now.
Right, yeah, that makes sense. Use a 6.8 millimeter cartridge. That's fucking huge.
Oh, okay. They got sick and tired of the 22 fucking vermin rounds.
Well, what did the M249 use?
A 5.56.
Did it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is not 5.56.
Yeah.
Let's see the SIG spear. I've seen like pictures and videos of that. It looks so sick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like a cool fact about the M249 is it actually has the magazine well on the side of it, so that you can take a mag from like an M4 and slide it on the side.
Like a P-mag and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the SIG spear is so cool. Like run that in 300 blackout.
Yeah.
So it uses 7.62.
Okay.
I guess I'm thinking of something else that runs the 300, but still.
You ever think about that, Justin?
What?
Yeah, we're using a lot of 7.62 now.
It's a pretty heavy hitting round,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't cost all that much different than the 5.56. Let's do.
Yeah, but trying to get the military to budget on anything for price is like impossible. They are cheapest bidders as much as possible.
Let's see. I'm looking up the price difference. I forgot to move that mic on my computer out of the way. Would you actually be willing to move that for me?
Yeah.
Just bring it up and then move it. There you go. That's good. Thank you.
Yep.
So I'm trying to see the price difference here.
Okay.
Let's just go to our local store. Okay, I can't call it by its abbreviation. Damn it. I love shopping here.
Okay.
Not Just Guns and Mason.
You ever been to Palmetto State Armory?
No, I have not. Where's that?
It's a website.
Oh, I thought there was a store.
I think there might be one in Texas.
Oh, it's a little far away for us.
I mean, it could happen.
So let's see. All right, I know you can buy 1,000 rounds of 5.56 for $550. They have it on sale right now, but it's not a big sale or anything.
It's so crazy to think on how expensive 5.56 has gotten.
It really has. And that sucks. A guy was talking at the competition yesterday. He was a little bit older, not real old. He was probably like in his mid to late 40s.
Mm-hmm.
But he was talking about how he could like spend $75 a week on ammo and shoot hundreds of rounds. And he said that he worked for this range where he had to test rifles, and he would shoot 1,000 rounds of 5.56 and 9mm, 7.62 every week because he had to test out guns. Now that's a job.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking sick to have.
That is a career.
So they don't even list the 7.62. Sorry, guys. I'm being slow-brained. I think it'd be on rifle. But
You ain't the only one.
doesn't help that it doesn't want to. Doesn't want to load. I want to get an AK so bad.
Yeah. You were talking about wanting to get
I want to get a
like
bunch
an
of
A-rack?
things. I don't think so.
No?
I'm not even sure what an A-rack is.
No?
No.
It's a AR style platform, upper, but the lower is like a AK. It takes the banana mags.
Okay, yeah. Taylen's dad has something like that. Okay. Oh, it's with a K. That's why.
Doesn't look.
I might have been talking about that. Yeah, that'd be freaking sick.
It doesn't look too bad, does it?
Oh. $1,600. That's not too bad.
In the magazine, you gotta put it in just like in AK.
Yeah, I guess so. That is cool. Yeah, that looks good.
Mm-hmm.
What's like a dream gun for you?
Oh. A Benelli M4.
Well, I can agree on that. That's a badass shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
What about a rifle?
I would have to go with a 300 Blackout.
I agree. I think that's going to be my next rifle.
Mm-hmm.
I want to build out 10.5-inch barrel, 300 Blackout, suppressed.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's the goal. I don't know how much something like that's going to cost. It's going to be...
Like a SCAR? Dude.
SCAR would be sick.
I walked by a SCAR the other day. It was like $3,600.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
Yeah.
Dude, someone at the competition yesterday
Mm-hmm.
had an AUG.
Oh.
Yeah, it was badass.
Is that chambered in
That I'm actually not sure.
in 5.7?
Let's see. So it can be 5.56, 45, 300 blackout,
Oh, Jesus.
and 9 mil, and 40.
Okay.
But yeah, his looked like this one. It didn't have a sight or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But it was pretty nice. I've seen an AUG before, because not just guns. They usually have some pretty cool guns there. Like they had a Vector. You know what a Vector is?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fucking awesome gun. They had one of those there. That was $2,500. Obviously, it's not fully automatic, but that was 45 cal. So
Okay.
that was pretty nice. But they have like 3 Desert Eagles. I've never seen the what's the 50 cal that's in like Call of Duty?
A
Bolt
Barrett?
action. Yeah, the Barrett.
I think it's like a M20 something.
Yeah, it's fuck.
The 50 cals have always had a long number after them.
M82A1.
Yeah.
That's an expensive gun. I've
Yeah.
seen that at Cabela's, and they wanted 13,000.
Jesus. How expensive is the ammo for it?
50 cal ammo,
Mm-hmm.
not cheap.
Like $3-4 around?
See. So 200 rounds is $760.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to do the math on that. So 760 divided by 200. $3.80 a pop. Or sorry, not a pop, a bang.
Jesus.
Yeah, that is not cheap ammo.
No.
But you pay to have fun.
That one, yeah. That's what you buy when you make it.
Or, I mean, if you really make it, you can get shit given to you.
Yeah. Sponsorships, yeah.
That did not mute me. Actually, no, I just picked one. I should have muted both of them.
No.
Just get those tickles, man. But yeah, that right there that'd be a dream gun for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's a dream gun for most guys.
You ever seen like how much that breach on it? Like how much
big
gas?
it is?
Yeah, like how much gas it
Let's go to
has to
YouTube.
push out. It's like somebody turned on a leaf blower for a second.
Let's see. Let's do this one. Full screen, let the people see.
Barrett M82A1 is probably the best known .50 caliber sniper rifle.
Look at
in
that
the world.
breach.
It
It's
is a
crazy.
beast of a rifle.
Just the way
that
it
can
sends
shoot
the
through
sand up.
walls and still
Dust.
kill its target. This anti-material rifle, which can disable a
Yeah.
multi-million
It's
dollar
a
jet
anti-material
on the ground with a
rifle.
$2 bullet, has repeatedly proven its worth in numerous conflicts, including the wars in Iraq, Afghanistan, and
They look like
against
a
the
Harrier.
Islamic States.
That
This is
might
military
have been.
mechanic.
I'll back it up a little bit.
So Harriers are cool. They're vertical, takeoff and
Yeah.
landing jets.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
looks like one.
And against the Islamic States.
They're pretty badass, but
This is
I think
military
they have some.
mechanics. And today
they have
we will
issues.
look at the Barrett
Yeah.
M82A1. even though in April 2012, Australian commandos used the Barrett M82A1
That's a hefty looking mag.
to eliminate a Taliban
Fuck yeah, it is.
commander at
And probably what?
900,
8 pounds?
Yeah,
I think there's eight rounds probably.
The Barrett M82A1
Full metal.
isn't really a sniper rifle.
I'm heading a drum mag for that.
You gotta be a fucking ballsy motherfucker to do that. Just like going to a range day and just fucking load that up just to bang off some rounds.
Yeah.
What? Probably get what, like 25 rounds in it, maybe. That's gonna cost you so much money.
Oh yeah.
Jesus, you could easily just go through $150 in ammo in 15 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Less, actually. Man, yeah, that'd be such a cool gun to shoot. I want to shoot a fully automatic gun sometime.
Mm-hmm.
I have to eventually. Let's do that. Let's watch shooting fully automatic.
Do you know what a Mark
Gun.
18 is?
Isn't that like a DMR?
It's a fully automatic 40 millimeter grenade launcher. It's set up the exact same way as the 50 cal on like a Humvee.
Oh, yeah. That would be pretty badass. Did you ever look up Helldivers? Or have you seen anything on it?
No, not yet.
Okay. I have to show you. Because that game is fucking sick.
Yeah.
They just added mechs to it.
Mm-hmm.
And they are fucking sick. Yeah, let's do this IGN.
It seems like everyone is loving Helldivers 2, myself included, and it's hard to convey why this game is so fun with friends. So, I scoured the internet for the
Kinda
best
reminds me
clips
of,
that showcase the absurd moments of greatness
you know,
that
Destiny?
can happen in Helldivers 2.
Yeah, a little bit.
From narrow escapes that make you feel like a badass to making mistakes. Here are some of the clips that fans of Helldivers 2 shared with us to show what makes this game so dang fun. First up, a lot of Helldivers 2 is about learning.
It's not shooting it.
Sometimes it's about learning, and sometimes it's about trolling Sam, as Char demonstrates in this clip.
You pizza.
It sounded like a it sounded like an A10 Warthog.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of different strikes you can lay down. Like, you can pretty much call a Call of Duty kill streak strikes down. So you got your it's almost like an A10, but it's all sent from your battleship up in space.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a napalm strike, there's EOD strikes. Fucking, you can drop 500 kilogram strikes, which is just, it fucking lands down on the ground, couple seconds, boom. And then there's also a what is it called? It's called a hell bomb,
Mm-hmm.
which you can kind of guess what that is. It's basically a nuke, and you arm it. Obviously, then you run for your fucking life because you got, I think, 15 seconds or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You run away, and it blows everything to pieces, and it's sick. But there's also, because it is it's a futuristic game, so you got laser guns, or it's not like your just regular primary gun, but you have support guns. So you can have a light machine gun, a regular machine gun, grenade launcher. Let's see what else. Your what's it called? So have you played GTA 5?
Yes.
Do you remember the laser cannon in that game?
Mm-hmm.
So you can have one of those. It was recently nerfed in this game because it was so damn good. Because there's Titans and stuff, and you could basically one shot if you know when to actually shoot them.
That's a little, overkill. Having a support as a grenade launcher?
Once you understand why, you're not just shooting basic enemies here.
Okay.
You see that thing? That thing's called a charger.
Mm-hmm.
The grenade launcher ain't doing shit to him
Meanwhile, demonstrates a
because he's fully armored.
orbital
Mhm.
strike.
You have to pretty much destroy his legs until like they show like flesh, and then you have to keep going at it.
Okay.
So
Maya
there's
here was kind enough to
there's
demonstrate
robots you fight
excellent
against,
ragdoll
and then there's like
for us.
bugs, basically.
Okay. It kind of reminds me of like Doom Eternal.
Yeah, that game's fun as shit too.
The end where you have to fight the Icon of Sin.
That game's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's intense. This one has a lot of Starship Troopers or Star Troopers into that, because that was like a comedy movie.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of that into this game too. A little bit of Halo. It's only on PC and PlayStation 5, unfortunately. They don't have it on Xbox. But there's like a huge petition going for them to put it on Xbox.
Yeah.
They won't because it's made by Sony, but that right there was a Titan.
Okay.
And if your teammate dies, you can, you send out a like that. Exactly. I was just about to explain that. So they can just land on them and it takes them out. But pretty much what the deal with the game is, you go onto these planets and you're spreading democracy. You're liberating the planets from the bugs or the robots because they're trying to take over these planets. But the whole game, like, you work as a community.
Mm-hmm.
You play with up to 4 players, but everyone's progress is put together. And it's also, it's all real-time stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're up in your ship, you can see other players, like, sending their rockets down or their laser beams and shit like that. It's pretty sick. So you're working as a community to liberate these planets. And over the last couple days of last week, they're releasing the mechs. But what you had to do is, there was this one planet where the robots had control of all these like the shops and stuff that they make the mechs at.
Mm-hmm.
And once the planet was 100% liberated, they released the mechs to the population of the game. So the whole community had to work together to fuck up this planet so they could get the mechs. And
Okay.
the mechs are actually pretty sick. Let me show you that real quick. I won't stay on this too long. Let's see. Let's go this Jack Frags one. He's a good.
This is my first time using it, and it's actually calling it in on a ship. That is so cool.
I take out the Bile Titan, Jack.
Roger that.
So you get to
Firing
drive
missiles.
this thing.
Die.
Okay.
Gee, okay, is it dead? I think it's dead.
Fine work.
Minigun. Ah! Die, bugs. Oh my god, this is incredible. Oh, these Biley boys have got nothing on me. Oh my god. Look, I think I had 1,000 bullets in the minigun. I've only got 2 rockets left though. I don't know if you can get ammo back for these. Die. Okay, I'm out of rockets. This might possibly be
fucking
the
sick?
coolest thing in any video game ever.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the fact that you
Monkey,
can team kill and stuff in this game, and usually it's by accident, but you can also go and melee them and it sends them flying and shit. It's a mix of like, so I've heard it. People say that it's a game where it's serious, but you cannot take it seriously. For that reason right there, like you throw out your fucking napalm strike, and then your buddy just runs over there because he doesn't see the red beam or something, and then he just gets fucking
Smashed.
melted. But it's a really fun game. It's a lot of good playing. It's easy to pass your day though, because each mission is like 40 minutes, and
Oh,
it flies
okay.
by. Like, you don't have to play it the whole 40 minutes, of course. You finish your mission, you can leave. But there's also like side objectives that you can do. Like, you take out, for the bugs, there's spores and whatnot. You take them out, they can't spawn anymore and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So there's side objectives, and you can use that stuff to unlock more things for your character and whatnot. It's a hell of a lot of fun. It's a good ass game. I'd be surprised if it doesn't win Game of the Year.
Mm-hmm. That's how I am exactly with Call of Duty Zombies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. If I'm not careful, I can spend a whole day.
I can't really do that anymore. No. It sucks. It's just like I get fucking bored. Not really of the game. It's just like I need to get up. I need to go somewhere. I need to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a mix of it sucks and it's also probably good for me.
Yeah.
Because I used to be able to do that shit where like you get out of work, you come home, you just play games until midnight, go to sleep, do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the days. I won't lie. That was fun playing like Warzone and stuff with your friends, or even longer ago is playing zombies with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've been playing a lot of the new zombies, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty much Warzone zombies.
Yeah. Yeah. Completely lost what I was gonna say.
Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah.
The newest one.
Yeah. So I don't know, what it was about the game, because for the past like 3 years, I had been the exact same way. I wasn't wanting to play a game longer than 30 minutes. And just recently, when I found Call of Duty Zombies, I was like, all right. I actually kind of got back into it for a while. Because the last time we played, I was like level 37.
Yeah.
I'm prestige like 250. I'm waiting for that max to come back out again.
Oh, they don't let you just keep going up anymore?
I think it's each
season.
Yeah.
Does it restart? Do you go back to level 1?
No, I don't.
Or you
think
just
so.
keep going up?
I think it just keeps going up.
Okay. Yeah, I've not bought MW3. I played that one free weekend, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I don't play enough games to want to go and spend the money.
Yeah. Zombies is cool, though. I can spend a whole evening on that.
Oh, I believe it. Especially if you can just... Is that one where you can just keep going as long as you want? Or is there extraction time?
Extraction time. So
okay.
You got 45 minutes until the smoke, starts to, or the
gas.
Yeah, the gas starts to expand, just like in DMZ.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get to like these little extractions. The whole game, you're trying to like loot and find better shit, and there's like different kind of bosses and stuff that you can do, like the worms. Those are fun.
Fun in a stressful kind of way.
Oh yeah. You ever see a battle with one dude? Like, if you're not,
Let's look that up.
Yeah, if you're not prepared, dude, you're not doing any damage to anything. Like the red worm?
The red worm boss fight solo is easily the hardest thing in Modern Warfare Zombies. So this video is going to guide you through how
dude
you
looks like a
can
pain in
complete
the
this
ass.
fight entirely on solo from someone who has gone and done this.
So not
over
only do you have to
5
wait
times, all
till
of the
like
tips and tricks you need are going to
the
be
time
in this video.
counts
so if that
down.
sounds good to you, then drop a thumbs up
So
and let's
if
get
you
going.
don't kill
By
him,
now, I assume you
by
know
the
how this
time
red worm boss fight works. Is there's an
your
Easter
timer's
egg where you
done,
need to get 4 USB sticks around the
you
map,
die.
and there's a map in this building
Just
above level
automatically.
result
Yeah.
which shows you pictures of the
'Cause
4 locations in your game.
game
Now this video isn't going to go
will
in depth
kick you
on
out
every
after an
single
hour.
location, but I have an on
Skip ahead. Oh, he's calling him in.
backpack for the solo fight. I fill the backpack with as many self-revives as possible. And for your weapon, I'm going to recommend an assault rifle for mobility and damage, being the SVA or the MCW. For the SVA,
Pretty sick
these are
skin.
attachments that I recommend you use, and if you're going for the
MCW
MCW,
is
then these are attachments that I recommend you
the
use.
spear.
Now, the way that the
Okay.
worm's health scales
Yeah.
is based on how many players are trying to take it out in the game. So what you're about to see in the video is the base health of this worm when it's just one player taking it out. If there's 3 players, then the health is 3 times. If there's 6, then the health is 6 times. And once you have the 4 USBs,
You have
you
6
found the
players.
location for your boss fight,
Yeah.
and the storm starts coming in. The moment the animation begins
So-
with putting your gas mask on, you want to be at refractor,
were
ready to apply the USB.
we were only able to
Once
play
all
with
4
3.
refractors are active.
What do you mean?
In our lobby, we'd have to pretty much, sync up if we want to play with the more than 3. Have to sync up at the same time, and hit start, and watch the little code for the map. If they weren't the same, you have to redo it.
Oh, okay. So there's other people on the game too.
Mm-hmm.
Can you fight other people?
You can't necessarily deal damage, but you can be a dick.
Okay, so you can screw them over, but you can't.
Oh, yeah.
There's no PvP.
Yeah. Like, you can run a bounty, and let's say a couple teams, are trying to go to a bounty to grab it. You can, swoop in and steal it. They have to find another bounty.
Mm-hmm.
Vehicles. I get so mad when I come out of a bounty and my vehicle that I just repaired and drove, all the way over here is stolen. I have to go find a new one.
Yeah, there's always going to be trolls in Call of Duty. It's kind of the name of the game.
It's great. But yeah. Have you ever seen anything from Jubilee?
Jubilee? No.
You're wanting to talk controversial. They do
Like this channel?
yeah, the two extreme sides.
Okay.
And they do some pretty fucking crazy shit on there.
Let's do fat versus skinny. That kind of fits. You're the skinny one here.
Hey.
Full volume. Full screen. We'll kind of react to this. How about that?
Okay.
It's 36 minutes, so we might not watch the whole thing.
Okay.
But we'll see what it does.
Different, There's a big difference between the people who are telling people go out and get fat versus a Lizzo who's saying accept me the way I am.
She's not just saying accept me the way I am. She's dressing extremely scantily clad and then saying if you don't,
I don't think I know
that it's
anybody
normal for
that's trying to
more
preach go out and get fat.
Yeah, me either. They just say that like what she said, where it's like they just want. Yeah, where just like accept me for who I am instead of saying like, hey, you should do better. Lose weight.
Yeah.
morbidly obese person to be wearing a G-string in the middle of public, then you're the problem.
I'm gonna put this in the middle. If you want to pause it, just hit space.
Okay.
Like if you have something to say.
Being fat or skinny is a choice. Agreeers?
Go ahead.
So what do you think?
It's a choice. Coming from the, all right. So I consider myself chubby. I'm not like fat. It's definitely a choice. It is tough to fix the habits to get unfat.
Yeah.
for a way to put it.
That's a medical term for it right there.
Yeah, unfat. Yeah, I mean, and that's a little bit of an excuse, I won't lie, but
Yeah.
there's mental battles with it too. It's not all just quit being a bitch or like fucking David Goggins, carry the boat.
Oh God. Yeah, I completely agree with the exceptions. Like sometimes it is a medical thing, like a thyroid issue can lead to the inability to lose weight or gain weight. So there's a couple more common exceptions that you just have to be wary about, but general rule of thumb is a choice.
Yeah, I would say, man, I mean, having thyroids is probably like a really low percent of the fat people. Man, I'm trying to think how I want to put this.
But with how eating habits are going on now, you're kind of seeing a spike in diabetes.
It's all choice.
Yeah.
It's all about your choices.
Yeah.
You could go and do what I did today and have 2 McDoubles. Did I need to do that? No.
No.
I could have made a better choice. I didn't. Right there. It's a fucking choice. I chose to be fat today.
Yeah.
I could have fucking cooked my own burgers and would have been cheaper, healthier, because it's like real fucking meat.
Yeah.
Could have ate it without buns.
Without buns?
Without buns, huh? Like, I need to grab my water real quick.
A sandwich then.
Go ahead and continue.
All right.
Of course, not every factor is purely choice. I don't think that every factor is, but I do think a majority of it is. And in most cases, for most people,
They call him plus size.
being skinny or being fat is about willpower.
Seen this?
It's about
No.
the environment you grow up in, sure, but who you choose to associate with, what sort of things you choose to listen to, who you choose to kind of have as your friends around you and support you. All of those things are choices that you can make that will lead you closer towards being one or the other.
I know what I do with my body. I know what I put into it, day in and day out. I choose not to eat some days. I choose, how I want to look. And
He's skinny,
I
by the
don't
way.
fault anyone for
Yes.
how they want to look or how they want to be, but I think it's a choice at the end of the day. I'm very,
Oh, those might not be
always
nicknames.
wish-washy on how
They're
I
just
wanna
clarifying
look
for
and
us, in
how
case we can't see.
gain weight or not. But the only person that's going to
Like, thanks, I didn't
gain
know.
weight at the end of the day is me and me myself.
For me, it's calories in, calories out. Go to the gym, you'll get buff. Don't go to the gym, you won't get buff. I understand that there's genetics that could cause you to want to eat more, but even with the genetics that cause you to want to eat more, the same solution is calories in, calories out.
I think the whole choice is, always determined on who they are. And it's not going to just be a thing done overnight.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of, I think it's like breaking the barrier and breaking a lot of things, not only your body, but also breaking your mental state.
And to kind of go off of what he just said, what I understand and what I know is, like, you can get started with the gym 100 times. It doesn't mean you're gonna lose weight. You have to get to that point. I feel like there's like this point that you get to where, not like mentally or anything, just like, say you go to the gym for 2 months straight, maybe you take 1 day off a week and really start seeing the gains, and then like it clicks on you.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, this is a lot easier than I thought. I can really do this. It's tough to get to that point.
Mm. Yeah, I think the main reason why people don't want to go to the gym, like the first couple of weeks, it's
a lot of insecurities too.
Yeah,
like being afraid of judgment and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When most of the time at the gym,
nobody cares.
The fit people don't care. They're there to get their work done.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna judge you. Yeah, you see these videos online. Do you know who Joey Swole is?
Yeah.
You seen where he what's a good word to call it? Like, he attacks people for judging other people. Like, you know how they fucking people set up their camera to record them, and then they get pissed off when
trying to
someone
catch a
walks
creep
through
and shit like that.
Yeah,
in the gym.
I like how he attacks them, but people are worried about that, and that I understand. Like, they're really insecure, and I get it. Like, usually, so I'm to the point where, like, I don't care. I'll go to the gym and I'll do what I can, do what I want. But I also worry, like, I want to wear comfortable clothes, but I'm also like, damn, I got titties and shit. I don't want to show my titties.
Don't want them flopping around.
No, because Planet Fitness has kind of changed.
It has.
Back when it was over at the other location, like, you didn't have all these, like, I don't know, the dudes walking around in their tank top and, like, flexing in the mirror and shit. You didn't have all that.
The
Chads, yeah, or the girls in their fucking, they got their baggy shirt, but it's tied right above their butt so you can still see their ass.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't have all that before. Now it's turning into, like, that kind of TikTok gym. Like, I don't see a lot of people recording themselves or anything, but
no.
Yeah. And also, like, an issue I've been having. So I started going back to the gym last week. I didn't do any weightlifting or anything because it's just been a while, and I didn't want to, like, really just throw myself at it like that. So I was doing some running, and, dude, I have issues with fucking shin splints.
Yeah.
It sucks dick. And I'm really focusing on running the balls of my feet. I'm making sure I'm doing that, but it's just I get, like, real bad pains right here because 2018 I was doing a lot of running outside, and I got shin splints super bad where, like, I couldn't walk for a couple days, and I think, like, it gets inflamed and shit, and it hurts like a motherfucker. And I was doing some research on it, and there's some ways to fix it. It's kind of gonna be, it's always gonna be, it's always gonna be an issue though.
Tylenol, yeah.
But if I just do that, you know, that mentality, that David Goggins, just push through it, I can actually get stress fractures in my fucking shins. Like, fuck, that sucks. Because I actually, surprisingly enough, I want to run. Like, I want to build my fucking cardio. Because we went to play basketball last week, and all of us got gassed so fucking quick. I was like, damn, we need to start conditioning. But I want to run, but then it starts to fucking hurt.
Have you tried the elliptical?
I have tried it. It's definitely awkward. You know, I just need to put time on it.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I'm just not used to that motion.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And again, that depends on who you are and what you want to go through.
Also, I know that sounds like an excuse. I'm gonna keep going to the gym. I'm just gonna do what I can. It's just I can't run all the time, which sucks.
Yeah.
I felt like as a toddler, I always viewed myself as big. I grew up in a very, like, poor home, so where my mom couldn't provide the meals that
What she was actually about to say there was providing meals. That's an issue that I had. What my parents weren't able to really afford anything, so they would always buy, like, the cheap frozen meals. They would also get fucking snack cakes and shit, and I would steal those in the fucking middle of the night. Like, I would wake up and be like, they're asleep. I'm taking one of these, and I would fucking eat it like that. I used to be a skinny fucking kid.
Yeah.
And then I got a PlayStation 2. I started doing the gamer shit. Like, there'd be summers where I just wouldn't go outside and do anything. Fuck. But then, like, meals and stuff, we just didn't really eat anything. No healthy choices.
Yeah.
You can be broke or poor and still eat healthy. But we would just make the dumbest foods. Nothing ever healthy. And that obviously doesn't help.
Yeah.
As a kid, because you don't know. Your parents have to point you in a good direction.
Yeah. My mom, she did the exact same thing too. But my parents were always, stoners, so there was always snacks around. Like, easy, quick, throw in the microwave for 4 minutes. Meals like that. But once I got, like, I weighed like maybe 170 graduating high school. When I went to boot camp, I weighed like 155, and I looked like I was all skin and bones.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you weigh now?
I weigh 225, 230.
Really? That's not too bad.
Yeah.
And you're not fat. You got a belly on you. It's there, but it's not like it's not Taylen belly.
That's my snacking.
Sorry,
belly.
Taylen. You know I make fun of you for it all the time. It's okay. He's got that dad bod. All right, let's keep this going.
All right.
she could healthily. So when we would get like free meals, even then, it would be like canned food, and it would be like very much food that's not as edible. It was food for us, yes, but then I felt like once it reached a point where I was old enough to try to make.
I'm
my
also
own choices,
realizing
I've
gotten to that point where like I can't just blame my parents for it all now. Now it's I've been on my own for fucking
and that sport just worked me out
7
so
years
hard.
now.
And it was to the point
I can make
where
my own
I
choices.
just
It's my
was
own
scared to
fault
eat.
now.
I didn't like it. I would only drink water.
When you were eating grapes and lettuce, were you thin?
I was the thinnest I could be.
Were you still big though?
I was still big, but that was the skinniest I've ever been. And that's coming from somebody who is only eating somewhat salads that are just fruit and lettuce and water and maybe ice right before.
And that right there
Do
is
you
because
think
she
that
doesn't
right
know any
now
better.
You would not be capable
You
of
can eat
becoming a thin
salad. You could eat
Possibly
500
with
calories a
people
day.
coming
You're
into
just
home
screwing your
since I was
metabolism.
young. I was supposed to
And you're
get
not
blood
going to lose
tested
weight.
probably when I was
You can,
very, very young, and I never did.
you can
and they had
retain
mentioned
water,
that
too.
It could have been
Yeah,
because of
exactly.
my weight
You
and
need
how that connects with my thyroid.
A lot of
I never
fruits
made the
and
connection,
vegetables.
and I never
You can
had like
retain
that,
a lot of water too.
like
Mm-hmm.
weaning parent to
Not
be like,
just fat.
go and get checked out, go and do this. Like, your weight is probably not your fault. It was always like, your weight is your fault, so that's your issue.
I mean, I also struggle with, thyroid and my own blood issues. I'm not quite sure, but I do see an endocrinologist and I go see a doctor. It's a choice to do
That's
the
also
requisite
another
steps.
real
It's a
important
choice
choice thing
to
too. Is
go
like
grocery
if
shopping
you are
instead
overweight,
of going
choosing
fast
to go
food
see the
when it's
doctor.
easy. It's a
See,
choice
what's going
when
on.
you're grocery
Yeah, that too.
shopping to go
Big
to
thing
the
for me.
outer
Get your blood
aisles
test
and
done and
not
everything
go
like that.
in to the bread
Which is
section
crazy.
and not go
Like,
into
I get
the
my
junk
blood
food
test done.
section. These are all choices.
I'm
As
fucking
a
good.
disabled woman,
It's all choice.
things
I have no
that
fucking
people
excuses.
say, calories
At
in,
McDonald's
calories
earlier
out,
is
oh, you
exactly
gotta go work
why.
out and
Exactly.
start it. A lot of the things that are typical
And also,
of this is how you
Danielle
lose weight,
fucking going
put
out
me in
buying
hospital.
sweets.
I
I
have
don't
to
buy
navigate
sweets. I
weight
don't.
differently. I
Same.
have to look at it
She
differently.
goes and
My
gets
weight
it.
is the way it is because of
Yeah.
medication.
But I
because
choose to eat it.
doctors put me in this position, and I had to learn. Okay,
My
am
problem
I
is when
going
I go
to
hang
be
out with my
so
mom.
hateful
She
of
still
my
has
own
all them
body that
snacks,
I'm
dude.
going to backlash and put myself through extreme gym nights, through keeping myself from eating things.
Yeah, but you
that
don't
I
have to do extreme
should
gym
be able
nights.
to eat. You should be able to
Just
have
be
a balance.
consistent.
You should be
Yeah.
able to go into
Go to the
junk
gym
food aisle
30,
like
40,
others
30
skinny
to
people
45
do,
minutes.
and still not have to worry about gaining
you-
20
that's
pounds.
plenty.
But I don't think
Yeah.
skinny people
I
go
think-
into
But it's all food.
junk
It's all your food
diets.
choices.
Certainly do.
And also
Eat a
the
lot
lifestyle
of
choices
Yeah.
too.
I
Like
mean,
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
active are you
My
throughout the day?
DoorDash would tell you
Yeah,
otherwise.
what's it called? I think it's called your NEAT. I think it is. So that's just your, say you're working up to your, or walking up to your work.
Yeah.
Like, do you choose to park in the closest spot or do you park in the back of the parking lot? Stuff like that. That's a choice too. Like, you can choose to get that extra 150 steps
Mm-hmm.
when you go into work and when you leave. That's 300 steps right there.
Yeah.
So stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just your daily stuff.
You ever worked at Mackey?
No, but I
So-
have. It's a big ass shop.
Yeah. We would walk like 5 or 6 miles a shift
Really?
in there. Yeah. It was wild. It's like 1 million square foot of land.
Oh, really? That's crazy. I know it's a big shop. I've never actually I've seen the front of it. You know, like by that gas station, Shell. Is there
Yeah, I
Shell
think
there?
so. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it from there and then driving past it on the highway, but
Mm-hmm.
I've never been in it or anything.
There are so many different kind of climates in that fucking factory.
Yeah,
Holy
hot
shit.
ass area, cold area.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Back there by the fucking furnace, it's like 200 fucking degrees constantly. Dude,
Yeah, fuck that.
you touch anything, it's like an instant, a little burn.
Yeah, you really gotta watch what you're doing over there.
Yeah.
Probably not too many fat people work in that area, huh?
They usually pass out, dude. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
Yeah.
Anybody working back there, if they don't take 15-minute breaks every time, they'll pass out. Sucks.
There's a thing called set points. There's a ton of research on it that your body likes to be at specific weights. It likes to be in a specific way. So if you are fighting yourself to lose weight by
I don't
not
really
eating,
think that,
over
though.
exercising, and you are damn near killing yourself to be at a specific weight,
I do
your
sit
body's
around the
unhappy.
225, 230 mark.
That
I
a
don't
choice
really
can
get
be
much
harder
past
for
that.
people to make due to conditions in their
I'm not
life.
saying I
But
fully
at the
agree
end
with
of the
it.
day, it's
My
a
body
choice.
does like to
I
get
could
this
say
way.
that I had food
Mhm.
addiction. I looked to food.
I'm
when
sure
was
if I
stressed
got
and this
to.
and that and this.
I'm sure there
And so
I'm
it's
sure there
harder
is
for
some
me
steps.
to choose it than for someone who has the perfect
I feel like
lifestyle,
it's more of,
someone who has parents who are giving them this and that and this. But I definitely still acknowledge that it was my choice. At the
Like,
end of the day, when I go there and I look and I see
how
should I
well
order
can
a
your
second
body
hamburger?
can
I'm the
maintain?
one choosing whether or not I order that
You know,
second hamburger.
I don't
I'm
really
the
think
one
it's
choosing.
necessarily that a certain weight. It's just you kind of worked out.
I don't know.
the-
I've been feeling kind of
the
lost
perfect
lately.
equation
And how is this?
for staying around
Well,
the same
I
weight.
don't know, to be honest. I'm just trying to figure out who I am.
Well, I don't want to
Mouse doesn't want to connect.
Uh-oh.
might have a breakthrough.
That's
if
okay.
you're
I let it fall asleep.
But if you want to talk
Get
to someone
past
about
this.
how you're feeling,
BetterHelp.
you should check out BetterHelp, the sponsor of today's video. With BetterHelp,
Come on.
finding a therapist
They're
is
not the
easy,
sponsor, are
regardless
they?
of limited options in your area.
Thanks for the episode.
I would rather be skinny than fat. Can the agreeers please step forward?
Interesting. My ass would be walking up. Like, I don't want to be skinny. I want to have muscle on me.
Yeah.
Not like
a lot of
bulky muscle, but,
different
you know.
struggles when it comes to being a bit bigger. And I have a sister that is very.
I was happy with
she's 400
being
pounds. And
250.
she struggles a lot. She has lymphedema, and to shower is really, really hard.
My heaviest.
So I do think
in the
for
military.
like an overall happy life.
I didn't mind it. I just had
and,
to eat
like,
so
zero
much.
Struggle, I think I'd rather be skinny.
I think that it is common in society to want to be skinny. I think the average person typically wants to be skinny. I'm actually surprised that I didn't see more people come forward on that question. People treat you better. It is what is considered the standard of beauty. Your life expectancy is longer. You tend to be healthier.
I'm also really tall. I'm 6'6", so I kind of wish I could just pick a single struggle, because finding the clothes and things like that.
Tall
when you're
ass
bigger,
dude.
Both ways can make it really hard. So if I was skinnier, at least that's one less thing I have to worry about. But also, I've got
Man,
two
clothes
kids
would be so much
and a
easier to
wife
find.
that I'm taking care
Yeah.
of. And as you pointed out, I definitely
Especially when you got
less
thick thighs.
Oh, yeah.
skinnier person if I'm a healthier person in that capacity. And I would much rather be that so that I could be around for my kids longer.
Can the
That guy's got the right mindset.
Yeah.
I'm speaking as someone who actually was a former smaller person, and
Former
I
smaller
had
person.
immense body insecurities when I was small. I was constantly living in fear of
Everything has a title
gaining
for a
weight,
title.
having people tell me, "Oh, don't gain weight. Don't do this. Make sure that your weight is the same." And once I finally gained weight, I realized that first off, life wasn't over. I didn't feel any need to not engage
Well, it's
in
gonna
life
be
the
over
previous
sooner.
way that I had, and the attention that I got was different.
She's got a walker.
But even as a
She's
smaller
got a
person,
cane.
you get negative attention, and rather than trying to
Unless that's
control
like the
my
speaking
body
stick.
to avoid that negative attention, I would
I think it
prefer
might be
to
a
address
speaking
the
stick, so people aren't
situation
interrupting.
As a society, make it more accessible
Okay.
for everybody to where we aren't feeling like I have to be a certain way.
I
That's
thought it was just a cane that
normal
she carried around. I was like,
in
I'm
order to
talking
be treated
now.
like a human being and respected.
If I could counter, because I was a bit bigger when I was younger, and that's when I was the most insecure. I would look in the mirror. I did have family members that were skinny, but then I had a family member that was much bigger. And just the way that I perceived myself, I hated it, and I even became anorexic to like not be big.
I don't think skinny always equates to being healthy.
Exactly.
I am fairly skinny. I'm 6'5".
Yeah, 'cause
I'm
the
140
anorexia is a bitch,
pounds
too.
Last time I checked, and I'm
Both bad.
severely underweight.
Yeah.
And I know about this on a day-to-day basis. That being said, I don't know where I'd want to lean at an appropriate weight level, but I think it's important to understand for some skinny people, we're not living a great life by any means. And sometimes I feel like that's always kind of lost in translation when they see someone who's really skinny.
I guess it depends on what you mean. When you think of the term skinny, are you thinking of just like an average weight person, or are you thinking of
But
how you are now?
I'm the average weight for like women in America.
I like
so
women, like, that's
if we're talking about
average.
an average, like I'm gonna be the closest.
What's your weight?
If your
Let's look
biggest
that up.
priority is to be at a smaller body, you need to
the average weight?
reassess your priorities.
Not her.
'Cause-
Not
Yeah.
focused on
Unless
health.
she's like
In the
5 foot,
immediate tie between
nothing.
skinniness and health, like you emphasized, there is such a gap between the research, because the research has a huge fat phobic bias in it, and
Look at that.
there has been
I thought it
research
was
that
always
shows
like
that they aren't, even especially during let's say
140
COVID and the correlation between obesity.
to like 160.
They rushed through those studies
Here, I'll
so
look that
fast
up.
because in society's
this
mind,
going.
oh, of course a fat person is going to equal someone who's going to get sick faster, is going to get sick easier. It was an easy jump. So they didn't do all of the testing that they were supposed to do. They didn't check their bias.
So
They
if
didn't
by
check.
saying the study is biased, you're saying that the study didn't account for the variable that obesity may also take a factor into. It's just that there's so many variables in humanity that these
170
pharmaceutical
pounds
companies could only
at 20 years old.
account for so many during their trials. And that doesn't necessarily mean
What?
that they're biased. However, if you want to talk about bias
Yeah.
in studies, actually recently
Holy
we've been doing
fuck.
the opposite. So for instance, a lot of our studies have been based on BMI. And so we've been showing that, fat people aren't necessarily extremely unhealthy if we look at people with a certain BMI. However, bodybuilders also have a really high BMI, and so they get counted into that category. And so it wasn't until very recently that they equated for that mistake, and it shows, oh my goodness, being fat is actually extremely unhealthy, like way, way more unhealthy than we ever realized.
You can't gauge health by looking at somebody.
Yeah.
Like none of my health issues, all of them precipitated my weight gain.
It's
But
not a speaking
I
stick,
always
by the
get
way.
food.
That's first.
Oh, don't you want to be skinny so that you don't have a
Yeah,
kid anymore?
I
and
think,
you don't feel the way you feel. And it's like, no,
if you look
because
at
I have
animals,
lupus and I'm always
there's a
gonna
reason
feel
why you
like
don't see
this.
like
I have
animals that are
CRPS.
like
It's going to deteriorate.
obese.
It's going to continue.
Yeah, and if they are, there's a reason to it. Like a bear.
They hibernate.
Yeah.
Like for a while.
I didn't see this one.
Oh, absolutely, you can. I think it's.
Because I have lupus and I'm always going to feel like this. Like I have CRPS. It's going to deteriorate. It's going to continue.
America has an obesity problem.
Wow, 98%.
I think so.
Oh, absolutely, you can. I think it's pretty clear. You look at the weight of the average American, you
But I
see
think
how obesity
we've
has
had one,
affected
though.
not just children. I mean, the fact
For a
that we
while
have
now.
younger and younger people who are looking heavier and heavier, and you see that, like, you know, the way that weight affects us as a society, and you compare that to how we were in the past. Now, not that we should always, you know, we shouldn't compare ourselves to the era of the Great Depression when people just couldn't find food, of course, but people are heavier now in an unhealthy way, and people are eating unhealthy. They are eating it through unhealthy access to food. They're eating diets high in seed oils. They're eating high corn syrup. They're doing all this kind
I always
of
think
stuff
of
that's
seeing
not
those
good
old
for them
pictures
that
of
they
like
didn't used to do.
recess when like
And
all the kids were like on jungle
it's not a
gyms
good
and
thing.
stuff
It's an
like that.
epidemic. It needs to be. It needs to be quashed in some capacity.
There's so much access to just anything. Like, it's so crazy these days. And, you know, I'm so surprised that we're actually supporting a lot of this, you know, and there's always people like, you know, like, it's fine that we have like 3 McDonald's like on the same street. And it's just
Within
like,
a mile
you
from
don't
each other,
think that
too.
this is
Yeah.
adding to the problem.
What
That's
I think
crazy.
is really sad about that is so many people in America just see the profit in it. I don't want to say I know that these people know the problem, but it's like, how can you not see the problem? They have to see it and just not care. They have to just be like, well, we're gaining profit. Do you see how much this McDonald's is making? Put another one across the street. Like, that's just like
It's not
how it
even
is.
just the corporations. It's the
Yeah.
medical industry. Having a fat country makes us money.
It doesn't help that our cities aren't walkable either.
Yeah,
America is a
no.
country of non-walkable.
That is why I wavered a little bit because I think we have a problem with how to treat obesity. I think we have a problem with how to make it so that it is not an epidemic. This is a systemic thing that we are in a society and in an environment.
That's a new
believes
word
this,
that's been
and
popping
we are
up a
doing
lot.
it to
Systemic?
ourselves, we're
Yeah.
doing it to our children,
Well,
and our corporations
recently?
and our industries are doing it to us, and they aren't having to take responsibility.
And they're encouraging it with media. So
And the
like,
mukbangs, I was literally gonna bring that up. The mukbangs and like all those videos that just come up to trends for people
not
to do
only
it as
the
well.
mukbangs, but also like Lizzo and other big like media
I
people.
don't know. I'm sorry. There's a
That's a
very
different-
big difference between the people who are telling people go out and get fat versus a
I love
Lizzo who's
myself
saying
fat.
accept me
Yeah.
the way I am.
She's not just saying accept me the way I am. She's dressing extremely scantily clad and then saying if you don't think that it's normal for a morbidly obese person to be wearing a G-string in the middle of public, then you're the problem. And they're trying to normalize society
That sounds like
to
Walmart.
this obese culture, which is extremely unhealthy. And
What is an obese culture?
a culture which like normalizes
I'm obese
obesity.
and I haven't even heard that.
Well, obesity is already normal, so
it's. Well, I don't think it should be normalized, and it wasn't normal
But
just a couple
what's the
decades
difference
ago.
between a obese person, myself, walking around in a
I thought you said you
G-string
were
or a
normal.
bathing suit, as I do almost every day, and a skinny person? Like, is it okay that the skinny person is doing that?
I don't think so, but
I don't think
that's for other reasons.
Yeah,
probably.
exactly.
I get the whole in public thing.
To say that when Lizzo does it is the same as a Victoria's Secret angel
Why
is just not
shouldn't
the
it be,
same.
though? Yeah, what's the
'Cause
difference?
What do you mean? are you telling me they look? You're telling me it doesn't?
I'm not saying they look the same.
Well,
but
I
I'm
mean,
saying
Lizzie
look at
goes on
different
stage.
What's the implication? So if I walk down the street, I'm a runway model. I'm a print and runway model. I have walked down a runway in a thong. So me doing that is shameful, but a skinny model is okay.
I didn't. I don't know if I use the phrase shameful,
Problematic.
but I don't think that we as a society should be modeling obesity.
That's another thing too is like people getting so easily offended.
To be able to have
A common thing now.
So they've always had the ability to buy
we have not.
lingerie.
If you go to Torrid, a single underwear is like almost
Like,
$20.
we grew up watching
and you
South
go to, like,
Park.
any other Walmart, any Target, and like
Yeah,
all
they
these
need to
underwears are on special
start
for
watching
like
that.
$5 to like
Yeah.
$20 and stuff.
Well,
It
it's
does
still
take more
live.
fabric to make it.
It does take more fabric to
They
make
use
it,
that
but
as
it's
an excuse, but
that
you
would-
make yards of fabric for gowns. You, like,
Is a
it-
small
yes,
a different price than an extra large or a
It,
large?
it is.
And
yeah,
we're willing-
for 3XL shirts, I got to pay more money.
I think people view models and Instagram people and all of us who are plus size and proud.
That sucks
as
too. Like a
we're
hoodie.
pushing this obese
You
lifestyle.
gotta pay more.
No, I'm
Mhm.
pushing the fact
Yeah, but
that
we
this
get
is
it.
what I live in.
It's
This
more
is my
material. It's
life,
gonna
and
cost
I
more.
need
Yeah.
other people
It's
to
more
feel
stitching,
this
more
way,
time to make.
To say, hey,
Mhm.
I want to be able to wear clothes that look cute too.
Make yourself look cute in
I
the
do
clothes.
think there's a problem with obesity in America, but I think it's a first world country problem because it's spread across the globe. And also, I don't see it as a problem. I do feel like
You know how many
health-wise,
McDonald's
people should
there are
try to
across
be
the world?
healthier, but there's no perfect
A
body.
lot,
There's
but
no
it's
perfect
gotta be
person,
mainly in
there's
America.
No perfect size, and there's people who are underweight.
You'd be surprised
There's
on
a lot
how
of
many
them,
are out
and
there.
There's a lot of people who are overweight.
They're like
So
in
I
Africa
really
and
don't
shit.
Europe.
see it as
Yeah.
like
Really, in Africa?
a
There's a lot
problem.
there.
But just to touch on what you were
I don't
saying,
know how
because
many
I
are.
am in the fashion
There's a
industry.
good
I
amount.
am a fashion
I'll
designer.
look
My
it up.
dad was one.
That'll be
And
interesting to
they
see.
buy 10 rolls of fabric for one price. So it really doesn't cost that much
And
to
how
make
different
underwear.
Sure, but
the
don't you also
menus,
have to worry
you
about
know, actually
distribution?
are?
I mean, if the average person is, let's say, in between small, medium, large, and you're sending clothes out for those, you know you could send out 10,000 of this, 10,000 of that, 10,000 of that. You can't always send out 10,000 3XLs because you're not going to have that many people fitting in the 3XL.
No, because there's somebody who works in marketing.
40,000
and they
across the world.
research that area.
But I wanna see a
There's
picture.
a census, so we have a database of what type of people are there. Now we don't know
So,
who's
mainly
going in
South
there, but
Africa
we know the type of people
and-
that live in that area and the type of the people that come and visit the area. So that person is doing their job accordingly, and usually large sizes are sold out.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
that
so
the
somebody brought
bottom
up the
of
food desert
Africa
earlier.
has
I
the
can't even
McDonald's.
think of an area that would have a so-called food desert.
Sorry, can someone explain, like maybe just for my ignorance, I'm
Like
guessing a
food
food desert is just there's no food anywhere?
No, it's healthy options for food. So you can go into certain low-income areas and you'll see a Starbucks, a McDonald's, a Chick-fil-A, but there's no Trader Joe's.
A food desert, actually properly, there isn't any, like for a long period of driving, there's one gas station and a liquor store. Then you have to drive 2 more miles to hit the next grocery store.
But with the food desert, it's not just that there can be a grocery store there, but if I'm making minimum wage, I'm not going to spend all of my money on what is going to last me 2 meals versus what's going to last me an entire week.
Yes.
Or if I'm on EBT and I have specific things that I have to choose to buy versus what I can't buy.
Yeah.
So I'm born and raised in Colorado. In the outskirts, there's so many small towns that you don't even know that they're there. Most of them you won't see on a map, but if you're from there, then you'll know, and they all have to drive a decent amount to be able to go to an actual grocery store.
But how often are you going grocery shopping? Maybe like once every 2 weeks would be
I mean,
typically
I think it
normal. So you have
depends.
to do a drive
My
once
family, I gotta
every.
go once a week.
So you're making a drive once a week, once every 2 weeks.
This
I
is
know.
not a lot
also
of people
saying
have
drive.
access to the
Yeah, like what
time
if I don't have a
to-
car?
I was like, I don't
Like, I don't even
and if
Sounds
you
like
don't have,
excuses.
usually these food deserts also
Yeah.
have very poor
I would go
public
once a
transportation
month.
options.
Yeah,
So
like in
you
the
are
mountains.
left
If I
with
had the
people
choice.
who are stranded.
McDonald's.
eating
or-
at all?
Sorry,
Yeah,
Myers.
crap.
No, but how are they
so
surviving
Where
at
they go into the
all?
drive-through, they don't got a car.
People
to
have
go.
no idea
How are they-
Exactly.
They usually
where
what
they're
I see
going
when I go to those rural
or
towns,
why they're
places,
there.
Yeah,
is they
people
have
fucking
chickens,
like shit
they
on
have
me at
animals.
grocery
And
stores.
Guess what? You can get some
Mhm.
healthy food out of that. That's
That
like
sounds
having
healthy.
eggs and protein and things like that. I think I would be healthier if I lived rurally. In fact, my wife and I are trying to leave the state so we're not near all the Uber Eats and all
I grew
all
up
that
in
stuff.
I grew up in a town of 500. The obesity problem there was not as significant as, say, in LA. And we talk about like food deserts and stuff. The nearest Walmart where I grew up was 45 minutes in any direction. The nearest McDonald's was nowhere near to be seen for a long time. So when I hear these, like, and there could be some evidence there as like the obesity problem is very low lift.
Were there grocery stores in your small town?
Yes.
Exactly.
I'm like kind of baffled by the fact
Thank you.
Maybe I just need to go out there and like experience the food deserts, but like there was grocery stores where I grew up. Just because we lived in the middle of nowhere doesn't mean we didn't have access to food. And actually, and I have to agree, we did have access to healthy food. Very healthy food all the time. I don't think this is...
I feel like moderation is key.
Fat shaming is worse than skinny shaming.
So I do agree that fat shaming is worse than skinny shaming. Just overall, entirely, the way that people like comment on people's weight compared to somebody skinny, they usually don't comment on somebody skinny. They don't think there's something wrong with them. They don't, like, they'll maybe say like, oh, you're very thin, do you want to eat a cheeseburger? But that's not as bad as telling somebody you eat 10, stop. And you don't even know that.
I've definitely told someone, hey, you need to put some meat on them bones.
A systemic problem.
It's usually like
You're
when
not
it's
gonna
really
not
cold
get a
outside,
job because
they're
you're
complaining about being cold.
Skinny bodies are praised.
Put on some
in our
weight.
society,
Damn.
whereas
Yeah.
fat
Get that
bodies,
thermal
like,
insulation.
I don't get it as often
Yeah.
as other people, but I get a lot of comments on my Instagram that are saying like, you're really beautiful, but you would look a lot better if you lost 50, 60 pounds.
Well, that's also Instagram. Instagram is brutal.
Something that I always get a
you
lot
put
of
it out
comments
there,
on is my
knowing it can go either
as a
way.
man,
Yeah, that's
because
why
of how skinny I am. It's
Joe
always
Rogan
something
says,
that I've
don't
always
read the
thought about.
comments.
My favorite comment is always, I look like a sickly, ill Victorian child. And
That's horrible.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh at that.
No. I don't. It doesn't bother me as much, but this idea that skinny people can't also feel
Does kind of look like a vampire.
Get these kind of comments are just kind of mind blowing. That doesn't mean that they're, that one side is getting it worse than the other. I think that there are both sides
Yeah, the crack
getting
version.
piled on, just at different varying degrees.
I think we're conflating two things as well. So there's a difference between fat shaming and fat discrimination. Fat shaming is an aspect of fat discrimination, but some of the things you were touching on are specifically
Never heard that one before. Fat
societal,
discrimination.
systemic fat
Yeah.
discrimination that goes into our medical system.
I've been,
it goes into
I've been learning a lot
employment,
about,
it goes into all of our civil
American
rights
English
as fat people.
recently,
fat, skinny
in the
people
past
don't
like 4 or 5
necessarily
years.
have that same issue.
A lot of words
And
I
come from
never knew
cultures where
existed.
They
Me either.
straight out called out skinny people. Oh, you look like bones. Oh, flaca. All of that.
Flaca.
So I watched my cousins go through it. I went through it when I would get too skinny. As people, we are just too scrutinized when it comes to our bodies. We don't let people live.
But I think that's a good point. You said you were called skin and bones when you got
Not
to
my cousin.
Sorry,
She's
no,
just gotta
but your
correct her
cousin.
all the time.
So people
You can tell
using
she does not
shame
like her.
as a motivator
No.
to get your cousin to not be too skinny. Shame as a motivator is a powerful tool. So the reason I sit over there is fat shaming.
It is
worse than
getting
skinny
personal.
shaming. Well, you could argue that shaming somebody in order to motivate them towards a healthy lifestyle.
It's not always the best way to do it, but it is a way to motivate people.
I have a
Yeah.
lot of empathy because hearing your story about how you've been struggling with this since you were a child.
Since I was like a newborn baby, like health, just everything's just been on that end where I've never known anything about being skinny or being fit or being athletic. I've never known anything about that.
Probably your situation, I don't think shame necessarily would motivate you, but for somebody where it is a option, so for instance, if you watch TLC, you watch My 600-Pound Life, 1,000-Pound Sisters, Family by the Ton, all of them can do it. All of them have had this systemic issue
That's
of
the thing
weight
though, I
gain.
have watched those like as a younger person and it would make me feel disgusted with me when I was a kid, so it would make me worse and it made my mental health worse because then I'm like, is that how like everybody automatically views me as just like somebody who's oversized and
So where
could
did
possibly
all
never
this shit
even
pop
attain it
up
'cause
at?
it's so
Like,
just common.
I don't think we should shame anyone to do anything.
No.
I think everyone deserves to like themselves enough to like enjoy life. And if you do that as a fat person, okay.
You should also like yourself enough to want to make yourself healthier and live longer.
mm-hmm.
Like you want to be able to, like they were complaining about clothing companies. Make yourself healthy enough to fit in it. You don't have to be skin and bones. you don't have to be 12% body fat in order to be able to fit these clothes and be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I think a healthy body fat percentage for a woman is like 18 to 24% or something like that.
I think so.
And men, it's like 12 to 16 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, you're not at this, like, you know, fucking Olympian 8-pack abs or anything like that. You're still healthy.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. There's a lot of excuses coming from these people.
Yeah, like,
and the only one really giving it real, like real. I mean, she's not being like, you know, PC about it. She's not being super nice about it, but she's giving it to him like how she sees it. And I like it as the girl in the red dress.
Mm-hmm.
The bigger guy right there with the like Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah.
I like him too because he understands the issues.
Mm-hmm.
It's just about going about and fixing it.
I feel like that might, you know, be because it's like he actually had some kind of, you know, medical emergency. So like he had a firsthand experience that, hey, I need to lose, you know, some weight. Like,
yeah, probably.
Yeah, because you're breaking a habit, whether it's, you know, trying to, you know, join a gym or, you know, eat healthier. I mean, it gets rough quick.
Mm-hmm.
But you really, you know, need a reason to, you know, understand why losing a little bit of weight can actually help you a lot.
Keep this going.
Okay, if you do it as a skinny person.
We're pretty much
also
just going to
chill,
finish the
it's not
video.
my business.
Oh, well.
Shame is a broad
We're at
category.
hour
I
43.
do think shame works in some
We're at
cases.
hour 43.
I think that there has been good
Long
fat
ass
shaming,
podcast
good
now.
fat shaming.
I think
Bad
we'll
fat
finish
shaming
this.
is just,
Well,
if
if there's anything else you want to say, we'll end it off, and then we'll do like a reaction video too, so we have something to post on Friday.
Don't you want to be
Okay.
around for your
We'll
kids?
react to it like a
And
different
that
one of
works.
these.
That works.
Yeah, like, do you consider that shame?
I do.
Something
I think
shorter,
that's
though.
shaming. I think they were telling me like you should.
Do you want to
lose
do
weight
like
be
a
around for your children.
real
I
controversial
think
one?
that's shaming. Like an
Yeah,
attempt to like
find something good. Find something good. I'm okay with that.
Towards you and towards your kids, like,
Sure.
Of course, yeah. It's
Yeah, but I think
All you
that
have to
worked.
do
I think
is
that worked.
mention,
That really
you know, like a
encouraged me
Ben
to
Shapiro
go to the gym and
reaction.
start trying to lose weight.
Yeah, true.
Sure. I think you have to be specific
I
to the
think
person.
I think that's one thing is it depends on the person.
Sure,
And if someone wants to shame me and like, you know, it depends on the person. I've been shamed a couple times and it's kicked me into gear to try to gain weight, but it's still really hard.
Sure.
And it's, you know, it depends on who you are, I think.
When you were making a comment about people questioning your masculinity, I get the question of actually looking like a woman all the time, and it's always in play. I always get compared to like male characters, especially when I don't wear makeup, and that's because I don't have boobs, and I can't help that, but it's definitely really hard to like have people tell you constantly like, here's the standard of how a woman should look and you don't look like that, without even saying it. They don't say it, they're categorizing me, they're making fun of me, saying that I look like this one soccer player or something. And you know, I think it's funny, but also shame can also be hard, because I can see what you mean. Sometimes it can really motivate you when it's out of love, but when it's out of pain and when it's out of like not knowing someone and just saying it, then
Yeah, the people who said that to me about my kids were not just some random guy online. It was people who were close to me and I knew cared about me, who I had a conversation with. So I do think it matters who says it, but I still would consider it to an extent shaming. And I'm okay with that. I think there is good shame. I think sometimes it helps motivate people in the right way.
The body positivity movement promotes
I agree with that.
childhood obesity.
I do too. Like, people definitely need to learn, like, it's not your place.
Diet
Yeah.
and culture.
Like, I understand,
positive
like,
effects.
yeah, you could be trying to be nice to a person, but it's still sometimes
for
just
me,
not okay to,
diet
like,
culture
hey,
is an important
you
thing
need to
to
lose weight.
have for
Like, you don't
people
know the
in the
person.
world.
You don't know how they're
What
going
I've
to take it.
realized
They can
after
fucking
we're
go
about to
commit
finish this
suicide
up
because you said
is
it. You never know.
There wasn't a lot of talk on skinny culture or like skinny people as a whole.
Yeah, I feel
maybe
like,
that's because of how the prompt is.
there's a
But
healthy
I think
amount
it's important
of,
if
you know,
we're gonna
picking
give
on
positivity to kids who
with, like, you know,
are obese. I think it's
your
important
friends.
to give them the options.
Is a healthy
to,
amount. Like,
you know, say if
you get,
they want to lose weight, they
you know,
can.
thick skin.
I don't see a
But
problem.
you're not
with
like
that
harassing
in any real sense.
you know, each
Yeah.
other.
Like, Taylen and I, we always make jokes. Like, I always say, hey, dad bod, I'm not doing it to be mean. I'm not even doing it to be like, hey, you need to lose weight or anything. He fucking just stands around like a dad. Like, he does that. hands on the hip, belly out. He does that. So I call him dad bod. But he understands. At least I think he understands. It'd fucking suck if he didn't. Maybe he goes home and cries to himself, cries himself to sleep. So.
Me dad bod.
Yeah, but like when it comes to your friends and stuff, you know, you could be, I mean, there's ways you go about it. You know, I wouldn't go and tell one of my friends, be like, hey, you need to fucking lose weight, dude. Unless they're at a point where I'm like, dude, something's going on.
Like a
man.
life
We
or
need to
death
make
moment?
a change. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just situations, you know.
I think that diet culture is a reason that a lot of people struggle with weight problems in the first place. I have even struggled with my own weight issues in the past, and I was like struggling kind of with depriving myself too much because I had a trainer. And then I started binge eating, and as soon as I had like a mental break where I was like physically incapable of stopping myself from putting food in my mouth, I immediately went to see a doctor, and that doctor told me to read a book called Intuitive Eating, and it wildly changed my life.
I should
and
look
it was
that up.
about getting past diet culture and about how so many
It's
people
about teaching your
ruin
body,
their lives
like,
with diet culture.
are you actually
you
hungry
see
or
it
not?
with like somebody talked about eating grapes and lettuce, and it's grapes and lettuce, and it's just like it's this
Great thing
extreme,
to do, too, is,
and so you go from one extreme
you know,
and then
ordering,
you break, and then you go to the other extreme, and so like I was in my
Chinese or
extreme,
Vietnamese,
I broke, went
and
so
try to
that's
eat
why I'm anti-diet
your food
culture.
I tried keto
with
for a while.
chopsticks. The slower you
and
go,
that's the thing about
the
what I
fuller
realized
you
is, like,
get.
that
Yeah, it makes
fad
sense.
diet kind of stuff.
Because you're giving your
when I
body
lose weight,
time
I
to
absolutely lost weight.
digest.
I didn't keep it off, and the reason I didn't keep it off is because diet culture is about turning the word diet from your overall eating into an activity that takes place over a period of time. A diet should not be something you do from January until May of next year. Diet is what you continually eat, is what you continually put into yourself. Yeah.
Well, a diet can
So
also be
my issue
something
with diet
that
culture is this idea
you
of, like,
change up
oh, I've got this
every once in
perfect
a while.
solution for
'Cause,
you, man. All you got to do is this, and this,
like,
and that.
I know
like,
it's
no.
it's good
Like,
to.
the reality is like, yeah, there are
You should.
good, correct, and objective.
I've heard people say like it's a good idea to do like one vegan day a month,
There's no
where you don't
one
eat any
exact fix all, and
meat
diet
because it kind of
culture is so
resets
much
your
about
system
trying
a
to
little
say,
bit.
like, all you got to do is just eat cheese puffs every day.
But you
for the
also
rest of
don't
your
want to
life.
eat chicken
Yeah,
breast
yeah.
and
so I
spinach
just-
or broccoli or
that's why I think
whatever
diet culture doesn't
every
help.
single
Yeah,
day
there's
for your
gonna be those
lunch.
people
Like
who
you want to
have
change
the
things up.
perfect answer,
It's good for
have
you.
the perfect solution to either lose weight or diet isn't just losing weight; it's also gaining weight. You know, and I think a lot of people, maybe it's just for me, but when I diet, it's actually not the opposite of fasting. I'm trying to eat more. I'm trying to gain more, and I think people forget that when it comes to diet. When people instantly hear the word diet, they think losing weight, and I don't think that should always be the case.
I've been on a lot of diets. I've been on diets for myself. I've been put on diets, and I've been put on diets by my coaches. So when I was young, I felt like it was more so like fasting, not eating, but working out, and maybe hopefully eating once you get home as a reward. And then when it became like, oh, like you're a good person.
I'm curious to see like how
be the big person,
strict
be the
she
defender,
was
be
with it.
buff.
Like if
So
she
it
was like
now we have to gain
by
all
the
this weight and
book
we have to
or
pound you out. So it was like
really didn't
I had to eat like 5 meals in a day.
you know, follow
and I felt so gross because I
the
was
rules
like,
and whatnot.
never had to like pull out like a bar or something and like eat it during class and be like, I have to eat this because it's part of my diet.
When we talk about diet,
So what I'm thinking about, this next week I'm gonna start dieting. The only thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start in steps.
Mhm.
I'm gonna start by stop eating sugary shit. Cut that out. Maybe a week or two later, focus on cutting out any breads. Cut out, the unnecessary carbs. I don't want to go keto, like a real direct keto, like eating fucking avocado and shit. I don't want to go straight into that. I want to just cut out all the unnecessary shit. I want to stop eating like breakfast because it's really not necessary, especially when I fucking eat cereal for breakfast.
Not a bad choice though.
culture, we're talking about not your diet as a whole. It's usually a fad diet is what we're talking about when we're talking about diet culture. And for me personally, I know that I've seen a lot of, especially women in my life, going on fad diets that are just not sustainable. And that's kind of the purpose of diet culture, is that it's not a sustainable thing.
But we're all talking about like mainstream, like keto, like gluten-free, and I think it's everyone's just polarized.
The
on
biggest
this
problem right there.
Certain ones
the
that
media.
I believe that you should eat
Yep.
gluten.
Big
I think
time.
if you take it out of your diet, you're actually going to get sick.
Unless you
Unless
are
celiacs, celiacs, no, like yeah.
It goes back to like what she said,
Yeah.
which is, you know, intuitive eating.
So what is the positive you think you've seen for people from diet culture? Which I think, and I guess, what do you consider diet culture?
I guess like diet culture to me is the resources you need to get to where you want to be in your life, in your body. That's how I've always viewed diet
By
culture.
dieting, do you mean like journaling what you're eating?
Yeah, if you want to journal, if you want to, you know, talk to a therapist, if you want to work out, if you want to see a doctor, if you want to go on meds, like everyone's
But
always.
it's not being super, like when you diet, you're not being like, I'm completely cutting out carbs or I'm completely doing this, right?
drinking lemon water only. Or
Are you,
talking
you're
about
like
restrictive
watching your
behaviors.
macros and your micros and you're calculating
Like
that
I
and you're
guess
staying with it.
if you're asking if I know how many calories I have to eat, yeah, like I have to eat like 4,000 a day.
When most people talk about diet culture, they've done some sort of extremely restrictive thing, and when you do something really restrictive, it changes your brain chemistry and the way that you think about food, and it makes you obsessive over food, and then, but it sounds like the way that you're doing it is extremely healthy because you're not.
That's
depriving your
what I'm
body of
currently
something.
going through right now. Is we're
you guys are talking about
I'm
the
trying to
extreme
change
diet culture.
Diet culture is one thing,
my
and
perception
then
of food.
a
and it's
healthy
something that
lifestyle,
is
Having a
and
healthy
intuitive
diet
eating,
is
I think, are
necessary.
two different things.
Yeah,
I
like,
personally
need to
don't
have
think of living a healthy
certain-
lifestyle as a diet.
You've been in
a certain kind of meal.
spheres. Do you
I
see
keep
diet
it,
culture and how has it impacted?
you know, pretty
There was a point in my life, like
strict.
when I was a junior in high school, where
It is
the person that I was
depressing
with
as
at the
shit.
time, he's like 6'6" and super tall, and so you know the mom was like, "Hey, like my son is going to go audition to this big agency, which is still big to this day, and you know you should come." So I went, and I weighed 115 pounds, and I was a D cup, and they said that I weighed too much, and so seeing that really struck me in the beginning with the negative part of dieting, and just kind of went into this spiral of like, okay, well if I'm too big, then what are people doing to not be this size? Like how can I make it to do what I want to do if this is my limitation to it? It took years later to realize like, shit, I was really disciplining myself for no apparent reason except for this underlying feeling from years ago that I could never get rid of. When you're talking about like discipline, I think it can be really positive with dieting and like intaking your calories, but for me personally, and I'm a very specific case, seeing those numbers and knowing that I couldn't achieve it because I didn't have the appetite was also just so saddening to me, because reading the bare minimum of what a woman needs 5'5" at my age, I was like, that's not that much, and I still couldn't eat it at the time, and I'm like, what's wrong with me? There's different ways to motivate people, and one of them is out of pain and anger, and I feel like a lot of the
It's a
diet
horrible
culture, whether it's
motivator.
for positive or negative, is just trying to gear into that. And you know, I just am more about being healthy.
I hear diet and I think of something that's positive, and it's been positive to me, and you know it's something I'm always trying to achieve. I guess like if we were to redo the same exact question, I may hesitate and not walk across the line. I guess I'll never know, but hearing these perspectives were really good because I probably didn't know as much about the extremes.
I want to thank all of you for sharing your opinions with us and for challenging us, and I really want to thank you. I thank you for the back and forth. It's something that I came here for, and I wanted to talk to somebody who thinks differently, and I've learned some things, so I appreciate that for all of you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. This was great.
There's one issue with this mic or mouse. Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to Middle Ground. Before we jump in, we've got a huge announcement.
Hopefully that doesn't fuck anything up. There it goes.
So what did you think?
That was pretty good. That was really enjoyable.
Yeah.
And I think I chose a good one because it kind of like, I don't know, it's like I'm overweight. So like, I don't know. I was able to, you know, really have perspective into that.
Yeah.
So, go back to the full screen right here. That was a long podcast. Doesn't help we watched a 40-minute video. What'd you think? It'll be better when we have Taylen on because he's really good at talking, and especially with what you wanna talk about.
Yeah,
he'll be good for. Except the bitch got fucking AIDS, so he couldn't be on today. So what'd you think?
It was fun. That was the first time that I've ever
been on camera.
Yeah,
it's really not that bad.
No,
especially if you just forget that it's there.
Yeah, done that already.
Like the only thing I have to do, like, obviously I'm not forgetting it's there, but I'm also kind of like producing, so I have to look. I have to make sure it's going good and whatnot. But
yeah, the interesting thing. I've always been trying to look at the camera or the screen.
I look at the person I'm talking to.
Okay.
It's completely fine. As long as you're not like staring off into space for long periods of time. That would be weird. But if you're having a conversation with me, you can look at me. It's fine.
Okay.
I probably should have told you that beforehand. Like, you don't have to just stand. Yeah, Coty, this is great. Because then it's just not like, it's not personal at all. So what's most important is just as a conversation. You're talking with me, and people are listening and watching.
Okay.
And they get to listen to us share our opinions.
All right.
So now you know. That was pretty good. You got any last words? Any words of advice?
Don't listen to what I have to say because Jane's also...
Word of advice, don't listen to what he has to say. How does that work? Do I listen to you or do I not listen to you?
You choose.
Yeah, it's a choice.
Because I have really, good genes. So, like, I can maintain weight very, very good.
Yeah, your metabolism's faster.
So, don't listen to me. I have great genes. I'm not the one that you want to ask about, gym advice or losing weight. Because I don't have to work for it at all.
That's where I feel like I have a good perspective. Like, I understand that. Sorry, I got fucking like little hiccups. I understand the things that need to be done. Actually, I kind of know a lot about fitness and nutrition. It's all choice.
Yeah.
Well, it's a very high percentage of choice. Not everyone is lucky.
Yeah.
Some people are stuck being at their weight because of a disease or whatnot. That happens. But yeah, I just feel like I have a good perspective on it. And if you don't want to listen to me, that's okay. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of podcasts, not just fucking Joe Rogan. I listen to this one called Mind Pump where they're all fitness trainers and they've been doing it for like 50 combined years.
Yeah.
So they know what they're talking about. And yeah, maybe that's like a short list of, information, but I've listened to a lot of it.
Yeah.
I've done my own research and shit.
Jordan Peterson is
I have wanted to listen to him.
Yeah, is a really good one to watch.
Another good one to listen to is what's his name? God damn it. Friedman. Lex Friedman.
Okay.
Very smart. Very, very smart guy. But he's also like mid-30s.
Yeah.
He's not very old, but he's very smart. He had Kanye West on his episode once. It was after like the whole Jew thing that was going on with Kanye. Yeah, that was interesting because Lex was not scared to give him his opinions, question him on everything.
Yeah.
He's a really, really good interviewer.
Okay.
So you have to check him out. He actually just interviewed, what was the Fox News host? The one that got fired recently. Fuck, what's his name? He went to Russia and interviewed Putin.
Oh, Tucker.
Yeah. He just interviewed him about that interview.
Okay.
That was a good episode, too. So you have to check that out. And I'll check out Peterson. And I've known he's good. But
yeah.
Well, say that's good?
That's good.
Well, guys, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and come back for the next one. Bye.
Adios.